The scissor sweep. What is it? How do you do it? And when should you use it? That's what we're going to get into in this video today. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Michael Foley, and this is Daryl. Daryl is going to help us out with the scissor sweep today. And if you stick around to the end, we're going to actually show you the best way to use the scissor sweep for self-defense situations. First thing we're going to talk about is what is the scissor sweep. In the context of sport jiu-jitsu, the scissor sweep is done from the guard position, and for today we're going to use the closed guard. It looks like this. So the closed guard scissor sweep, it's ideal for a guard situation where your opponent is bringing their weight forward, and that's because I'm going to use my knee shield. What my knee shield is when one leg blocks my opponent right here from coming further forward. Here's how you do the sweep itself. You need a couple of grips. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to use a pocket grip on the wrist, so I'm just going to fold his cuff right here, catch it with my 4 fingers, and then my other hand I'm going to grab the same side collar. That's going to give me a lot of pull strength on the right side of his body, bringing him over to this side here. So pocket grip, collar grip, and my elbows are in tight. I'm going to concentrate on keeping my palms turned up like this. So here. Now I'm going to open my guard, but I keep my weight on the backs of my legs on top of Daryl's hips. So from here, my hips are actually off the floor. If I relax my legs and drop, now my weight is off Daryl's hips and he's actually free to move around quite a bit. And I don't want that to happen. So instead, get your 2 grips, chomp down with the backs of your legs, get your hips just a little bit off the floor, and when you open your guard, you keep them there. So if Daryl tries to move around at all, he's got to carry my body weight with him. After I open my guard, what I want to do is I want to pinch in tight with the bottoms of my legs, and I want to turn my hips. I'm trying to take my left hip, and I want to get it underneath my right hip. So I'm going to bite down with my right leg and use my left leg here to help me turn to escape my hip away from my opponent. Now from here, I've still got my grip. This bottom knee, I'm going to bring that up to the middle of my partner's chest, and this is the position I want to start my scissor sweep from. Then I'm going to come up to my elbow, and I want to stretch out, not so much pushing my opponent back as driving myself away from my opponent. So I want to get as long as I can in this direction here. That's going to play a part in the self-defense bit at the end as well. From here, I'm going to give them a little push with my knee, and I'm going to pull right here with the collar. You see how Daryl's starting to stretch out a little bit right here? That's what I'm looking for. Now from here, I'm going to slide this leg down towards the floor, and my top leg, I'm going to bring my knee to my chest, pull him in with me with my grips on the shoulder here, and I'm going to scissor my legs. My right leg is going to kick over the top of my left. My left is going to kick back while hacking on this knee right here. Then I get the sweep. Let's talk about a major sticking point here. A lot of people are doing the scissor sweep after they off-balance their opponent. They don't kick back far enough with their bottom leg. Their opponent falls over, and then they have to come over their knee to get up to the mount position. Instead, what I want you to do is you're going to kick this leg back behind you as far as you can. So now my bottom hip, my left hip, connects to the floor, and then I come up to mount from there. So I'll show you the difference that makes when I have a resisting opponent. So let's say I've set up my scissor sweep here, and I sweep Daryl over, but now I try to come up to my knee as he's trying to escape. I gave him all kinds of space to be able to re-guard. If I keep my hip tight to the floor by kicking my left leg back, it looks like this. Everything's the same. I go to sweep, but where Daryl wouldn't use the space to escape, my hip is on the floor, this leg bites in nice and tight, and there's no space from here. I'm gonna come up to the mount position, and he's not going anywhere. A great time to do the scissor sweep is when my opponent is starting to stand up to pass my guard. If he stands up to pass my guard, here, his body weight's shifting forward a little bit. I want to catch him like midway through the act. So as he stands up, I'm going to open my guard, shift to one side right here. But here's how you know if you've got a good scissor sweep. In this position here, I'm clamping in on this leg, and my top leg, I'm pushing in this direction. So there's a constant pressure on Daryl to rotate in this direction. My top leg pushing him over, my bottom leg pulling him under. So if I can keep him here in this position, if he tries to put his knee back down to the floor, he shouldn't be able to. Let's see how you can apply this move in a self-defense situation. Daryl's playing the attacker in this situation, so I'm on the ground, he's between my legs, and for the demonstration of this, he's trying to put his hands around my neck, or he's trying to punch me in the face. So what I want to do in both scenarios is put that knee shield in place. So if he's got his hands on my neck, from here, I need to create space because he's got gravity helping him out here now. And the further he can get over me, the more weight he can apply to this choke. So before he even gets here, I'm gonna clamp down with my legs on his hips, make it harder for him to elevate. And from here, I want to twist and put my knee shield in place. So even if he tries to push forward and put his hands around my neck, as long as I elevate my hips and I push into my opponent, he's gonna have a hard time getting to my neck. So he's attacking my neck, heavy on the hips, make the knee shield here. Now from this position, this foot drops to just below the knee. I'm gonna grab the back of this elbow and I can grab the collar. I can grab him by the head right here if he's not wearing a uniform. And as he's pushing forward, trying to get towards my neck, I scissor sweep, roll all the way over to mount. So if Daryl punches me from that position, it kind of changes what I have to do, but only by a little bit. So same thing as from the choking situation. He's trying to punch me from here, so I want to make space and get the knee shield. As he's drawing back to punch, I want to cover up and create distance right here. And just like if I was a boxer, I'm going to cover up and roll with the punch. So if his punch is coming down on an angle this way, I cover up and I roll this way. If it's the other hand, I cover up and I roll this way. And my job is as he's leaning forward to punch, I want to try to collect that arm, grab his head or his collar, pull this arm underneath, and perform my scissor sweep. Don't forget to thank Daryl in the comments for coming in to help me out today. Daryl's on his way to blue belt. He's getting it shortly. Sorry, spoiled the surprise. No. But he won provincials last June, and he's very dominant on the local jiu-jitsu scene, so there's a lot of white belts out there that are very excited about him getting promoted soon. This video is part of our playlist for basic sweeps and attacks from closed guard. I'll leave the link to that in the description, so don't forget to go check that out. I'm Michael Foley. I'll see you on the mats.